Welcome to NetLogo Birth and Death and Stuff. So naturally today you're going to learn three things. You're going to learn how to create turtles or have them reproduce using a hatch command. You're going to learn how to kill off the turtles, and you're going to learn about monitors and plots, which we'll create here. So here are your goals for this model. Together we're going to do everything that's not highlighted. So you're going to create and call a reproduce procedure that hatches turtles and changes their color. And then the thing that's highlighted is something you are going to do on your own that's not going to be shown in the video. So you'll use your problem solving skills to do that. Make the hatched turtles move forward and change color and shape. It'll be very simple once I show you how to get started on that. You're going to create a die procedure on your own where turtles die if their energy is too low, and then we'll create some monitors for the turtles and patches, and we'll also create a plot, and we'll do that together. So the first thing you need to do to start is open up your NetLogo Energizer Turtles model from last time. The code should be completed for this. And we're going to look at our go procedure. So just to kind of refresh, we have a variable that we define for our turtles, which is energy, and so we've been using that to tell whether or not the patches should die and that kind of thing. So we set our turtles to random locations. We set some of the patches green, and then we called a walk procedure. And I went ahead and added, after the walk procedure, not inside the ask turtles brackets, a command to reproduce. So we're going to go ahead and create a reproduce procedure to go along with this. So pass our walk procedure, and let's go to reproduce. Okay, in order to reproduce, we have to ask the turtles to do that. And of course what we ask them will go inside brackets. And we're going to use an if-then statement. So you'll see that most of our coding now is getting into if-then statements. If our energy is less than 0, they die. If the P color is green, the turtles gain energy and the grass dies, and so on. So for this one, in order to reproduce, it's going to be the same thing. If our energy is high enough, so you choose a number. If it's greater than, I'm going to say 50 because it starts off at about 30-ish, and then they have to gain some energy and eat some food and live for a while before they can reproduce, if we're going to make this realistic. You could also create a slider for how much energy turtles need, and we'll talk about that at the end of the video as some optional extra credit. Okay, so if the energy is greater than 50, our then statement goes in brackets, and we put what we want them to do, which is this really cool NetLogo command called hatch. And hatch is a lot like create turtles, so you have to put a number at the end. I just want to hatch 1. If I hatch 1 turtle and I go and run this procedure, that turtle will be exactly the same size, shape, color, and location as its parent. So we have to give it some commands in its own brackets to make it different. So for instance, I could, or you're going to, I should say, make the hatched turtles move forward and make them change color and change their shape. So those commands are going to go inside these blanks. For my code, I'm just going to make them go right 30 degrees. Right is not one of those commands that you are supposed to do, but you can add as many different things as you want to. All right, let's take a little cuteness break. What does the fox say? The fox says it loves this other fox. Okay, so right 30, we've got our reproduce. Again, make sure if it's not called in your go procedure, it won't do anything. Let's check our code. We're good to go. So if we go to our interface and hit setup, we should have the number of turtles we created last time. Our go should be set on forever. We click go, and you'll see that as they encounter these patches, the turtles are just reproducing like crazy. So we probably should have a higher number than even 50 for this. but we're going to go ahead and just stick with that for right now. You can toy with your model and make it more realistic. So we'll give them a second to get all their reproducing done. Okay, we're going to create some things called monitors. So those can be found by clicking this menu down here and choosing a monitor. And if you're counting turtles, it's really easy. So I already added this monitor, but you'll go ahead and just go add monitor. Nope, not working. Not sure why. Okay, there we go. And you'll do count turtles. So count is a really useful command for monitors and plots. And then if you wanted it to just say turtles, you could put just the turtles there. So NetLogo recognizes count and then a command after it, and it will put the number of whatever you put after count. Okay, so I already have one of those. You can see we're at 15,000 turtles, which is a lot. And then it will count our grass as well. For making the grass monitor, so it would be same thing, but let's just go ahead and go to edit. For patches, it has to be a little bit different. If you just put count patches, it will count the total number of patches, black or green, and that's not really what we want. That ends up being like 1,000 or something. So you need to count just the green patches, and this is the way you do it. Count patches with, and then in brackets, p color equals green. Or later on, you could use all kinds of different commands there. Turtle here or whatever. So I thought that was a really long name for a monitor. It came out like all the way here. So my display name is green grass. Okay, the last thing that you're going to add as far as monitors is this plot thingy. So if you go to plot, you will end up with something that looks a lot like this. So I named my graph Turtles Over Time. Technically it should be Turtles and Grass Over Time because we're plotting two different things. The x-axis is time, and we're counting that in ticks. And the y-axis label will be number of turtles and grass. Okay, we could do two separate ones and have a number of turtles plot and a number of grass plot, or we could just use this one and do two different pens. So the first one already was filled out for me. It said plot count turtles, and the second one I had to fill in, add another pen by clicking down here. I changed the color to green, which makes sense for grass, and did a plot count patches with p color equals green. So the same thing as for the monitor, this is just going to go on the plot, and we click OK. So now when we click Setup and Go, you'll see that it will graph the number of turtles and the amount of green grass. And if we slow that down, you can really see the amount of grass kind of start to stabilize, and the number of turtles will just grow and grow and grow and grow. But we don't have time for that. Okay, so we've got everything done except for the die procedure, and you guys are going to write that on your own. So I will tell you, you're going to include a die procedure. Oops, sorry. We're going to call it turtle death procedure. And you guys are going to have to write your own turtle death procedure. So we'll call it to turtle death. And it's going to be very similar to your reproduce procedure, except instead of hatching, they're going to die. And you decide what the amount of energy needs to be, how low their energy has to be before they die. And let me know if you have any questions. So I know this is different. You're kind of making your own procedure, but I think you have all the code you need to do that. When you finish, save this as birth and death .firstname.lastname.netlogo, or nlogo I should say, and then you can submit that on My Big Campus by going to your schoolwork, This will be assigned to you. You should know where to find it because that's where you got this video. And you can attach that and I will grade it in there. Good luck, and if you have any questions, let me know.